Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Tyranny with me, Bring It On. Before I activate this altar, let's do some buffing. We'll start with consumables, I think. Sure, whetstone. Let's see, barrack, water, lantry, fruit. Then Episode doesn't have any equipped, so I'm gonna do, I think, water on her as well. That bonus to resolve and extended afflictions.
Come to die at the hands of the hero of Vendrian's realm.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, insert the bright keystone.
That orb appears one breath away from collapsing, since being sensible and abandoning the scars aren't options.
Alright, let's buff up. And then get swinging. Alright, see if the taunt works on him, Barrack. And I do have the super taunt that Barrack and my main character can do together. Iron Tolling. That was absurd. Okay. Let's try some of these single target abilities that Ebb has, and then we will do haste on Barrack.
Not a problem.
Alright, striking iron this guy for me, Barrack. Phantom Bolt.
I will aid you.
Alright, then put a healing aura on Barrack for me. Our weapon is done. Let us do Iron Tolling.
My signal.
Grave Grasp. I guess a Vital Body on Barrack as well. Give him some extra regen.
As you wish.
Alright, Rhyme Spike.
Whatever you need.
Smashed it.
Alright, get in here. Where's it at? Sunder this guy.
On pieces.
Oh, nope. Don't waste your time auto-attacking there. Reverse. Let's see. Path of Frost. In fact, let's activate Shadow's Embrace for this fight as well, because that gives us a 10% arcane damage, plus 20% arcane damage on hit for 70 seconds. And I just leveled up, which is great. I'm gonna go and use Orb of Life, because I haven't used that ability yet from the Alchemist Gloves, so we'll see what that's all about. Ball Lightning. Uh-oh. Enemies are starting to spawn. Not a fan. We should be okay. I really don't need to waste the Orb of Healing, but I'll probably forget about it if I don't use it now. Alright, let's thrust. He's actually not putting up much of a fight, unless he has like a big heal coming up. Which I can take care of with Mother's Embrace, which will stop him from casting spells. Actually, I don't know if he can drown. I'll check when I cast it this time. If it actually does anything on him. I go ahead and taunt for me, Barrack. Alright, let's see. He's frozen, sundered, silenced by Lantry. I don't see... Yeah, he is silenced, so he can't cast. Cool. So it doesn't look like they have lungs, so I don't know if you know, silencing them actually does anything, or applying the drowning effect does anything. I can cleave multiple, and let's see, we have more than one showing up, so I can start using some of these AoE abilities. Like that. Alright, and then... let's move forward to use Tyranny's light. Well, I guess Grave Grass will work. Let's get back here and use that. And he's almost down, so I'm not too worried about it. See, the Thunder should kill him, I think. Oh. I was not expecting them all to go down if I took him down. So I wonder if... I could have gotten more experience had I focused on the ads first. Because normally I would focus on the ads first anyway. But since they didn't show up until after I engaged with the big guy, I focused the big guy down because he was already halfway dead by the time they started, you know, spawning out of the wall. Recipe Waking Death. This recipe describes the process for growing a powerful mushroom, known as Waking Death, that can prevent death. This mushroom can be grown with access to a Spire Infirmary upgrade and proper materials. And a lot of money. And Bane Essence. Let's level up my main character. Accuracy. He leveled up twice in this dungeon. And then here, I'm going to grab... I don't know if I want Focus Strike or if I want Two-Handed Mastery. I mean, I already used Thrust in my rotation. None of these really seem exceptionally good to me. So I think I'm just going to get Thrust, the Focus Strike upgrade, which gives it plus 15 accuracy and plus 6 armor penetrated by attacks. Adds armor penetration to the Thrust ability and increases its accuracy. Alright then, Steadfast Insignia. Fashioned in the likeness of a stalwart battle standard, this emblem was worn by every first regent since the realm was carved from the Stone of the Tears. Originally nothing more than an officer's finery, the Steadfast Insignia swelled in the popularity as those who wore it earned the deserving titles as war heroes. The insignia developed a reputation as the architect of victory over time, and the secret of success on the battlefield. As its recognition grew, the armies of Stalwart learned to rise up against any odds when the insignia was present, a streak that held with admirable consistency until the insignia was lost amid Stalwart's war against the Northern Empire. So how do I get up here? I wonder if the way to extend these bridges is in this room here. It's probably this. I don't have the right torch key for that. So, let's go up and claim the spire if we can. That fight was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. I mean, granted, this whole dungeon was like hyping up that big bane, and then he went down with that much of a fight. The human enemies who we run across and immediately fight were more powerful than that, and I just feel like I'm a little let down by that fight. How did I get a missive in here? I'm inside the old walls. May knowledge survive. Sage Elf. Dear Fatebinder Donald, may this missive find you in able health. I write to you in hopes of striking a bargain with the court. By the laws of Kyros, I'm a purveyor of lies. In my work for the School of Ink and Quill, I have written many texts, and while some of the particulars are at odds with history as taught by those loyal to Kyros, I truly believe that our work is not blasphemous, nor treasonous. It does nothing but exemplify the inevitability of Kyros. It is not my place to say what is and isn't worthy of censor. That duty, if I understand correctly, is yours. My offer is this. If you preserve my texts, I would submit my neck to any sentence you deem worthy without protest. My life is worth little compared to the texts that required the life's work of countless sages. I understand such writings will likely need to be kept in a vault, far from offending eyes. But if I can be assured of our written echoes will live on, my flesh and blood are the courts to discard. If you are amenable to my offer, seek me out. My current whereabouts are far from the ruins of the Vellum Citadel. See the reverse of this parchment for instructions. If you make your way to the location directed, I'll seek you out. Glory to Kyros, Sage L. On the reverse of this missive is a charcoal sketch of what appears to be a small keep built alongside mountain foothills. A map of the tiers is drawn in the corner, where the circle that seems to indicate this location is in the Bastard tier, north and east of the Bastard City. Send a terse affirmation. Dear Sage L, plan for my arrival. Be prepared to face judgment. Fatebinder Donald. Send it. 36-hour response time. Alright. Let us go to the Runic Hall? Runic Hall. Yeah, Runic Hall. Thought maybe it's called like the Runic Great Hall or something like that. But nope, just the old Runic Hall. Also, I don't think I gained power for grabbing the grave bow, did I? I can't talk. I gained increased power for grabbing the Dauntless Sword. But when I grabbed grave bow, I don't think I gained any power. I also gained power for crafting some of the other artifacts, I think. Like Commander's Plate and Alchemist's Gloves.
Right.
The dusty stone platform is lifeless, but small markings indicate that its old magic might be reawakened. Let's level up Lantry first. Resolve, of course, and... I'm gonna grab Arcane Shield. Grants a moderate bonus to arcane armor and magic defense, plus 20% magic defense and plus 6 armor. I guess I get the healing instead. Actually, yeah, let's do Erase the Record instead, because I can put that on someone on the back line, like Lantry or Ebb or, you know, Verse. That'll save him. So with health drops ability 35%. Just as protected. Doesn't say how much it heals for. Place a preservation seal on an ally. The ally's health falls below a limit. They are healed for a large amount of health and the seal is destroyed. Interesting rune. The Sunken Relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to the one you saw at Ascension Hall. The relief is incomplete, thus the final form of the rune is unknown. We'll make a charcoal rubbing of it. We've read all this. I believe this has something to do with the symbol on the floor of the spire. You don't say, Lantry. This is not our first rodeo. So a triangle with wings. Easy enough.
Study carefully the glyphs. They're gibberish to me, but I know magic when I see it.
Let me double check this. Does it... Yes, they start at the base and shoot up. Got it. So here to here. I think that's the right one. Yeah, that looks right. They look like a triangle with like Kerrigan's wings from StarCraft.
Yes.
Let me double check around the chamber, make sure there's no hidden secrets here, because I don't plan on coming back after we claim the spire.
Sorry, I can't.
I can't forget to go back to the area right outside the old walls and turn in that quest to the sage. Alright, let's do it. Another spire for the taking. Another spire for the glory of Kyros. The now familiar light of the spire courses skyward, trailing off toward the horizon in the direction of Vendrian's Well. You feel the ground beneath you fall away as you give into the warmth of the energy surrounding you. The Ocean Spire in the Blade Grave feels weathered and battered, like a flag that is whipped in the high winds beyond its intended duration. Perhaps in spite of this, the connection formed with Vendrian's Well is strong, almost overwhelmingly so. I was at the front lines during the devastation of Stalwart. From on high, the realm feels less significant. Absolutely brilliant. Me and every other sailor use this spire as our go-to for a dead reckoning. I've seen this spire from sea 1,000 times, but I've only daydreamed I'd see the view the other way around, and it's so much better than I imagined. There was a running wager in the Vellum Citadel, how far southeast one can sail before reaching the end of the ocean. From here, I guess forever is close to the right answer. Looking out at the expanse of ocean to the south, Mancher moves his quill in a harried rush as he sketches the blue-green panorama. I think I'm going to build a library, because knowledge is power. Constructing a library on a spire allows you to research magical knowledge, edicts, and artifacts. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to lore and all magic skills. The training grounds allows you to recruit the finest skill trainers in the tiers. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to accuracy, athletics, and subterfuge. I don't think that I care about the training. Infirmary allows you to brew potions and other consumables. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to endurance, will, and magic defenses. I'm gonna do the library. It even sounds the best out of the options. Alright, speak with Graven Ash. That'll have to wait. Let's see what we can get. Prison the Fatebinder. Come, let us have a word. Sage Garris. Let's hold off. Let's loot. Yeah.
Can't do that.
Let's do our once around the spire and loot
Can't
everything.
do that.
Then we'll see what recruits are available for the spire and. Tidal waves of rock and rust have clearly spread their destruction far across the region. 5 scrolls. Five more scrolls. The Oldwalls extend from the ruined lands out to the southern sea.
One moment, my friend.
I assume my companions would have something to say.
My Lord Binder, what can I do for you?
They usually do after claiming a spire, don't they?
What is it you...
Alright, so we're going to get rid of Ebb, bring Verse back into the party, because we're done with the Oldwalls for now. Now I want to make sure I give Verse this Grave Bow.
Good day, Fatebinder. What do you need? Well then,
I'll tack homeward. See you there.
Actually, all my companions should have leveled up, so we can take care of that real fast. Finesse for Verse. I guess all 3 points, right? And then here, let's get Blood Calls to Blood. Melee critical hits damage enemies near their target. Just a little bit of damage, but still. Oh, she leveled up more than once, that's right. Fury's Embrace. Unleash a rapid flare of strikes against a single foe. Each hit applies a damage over time effect. So let's grab that. And Blade Dancer greatly increases weapon damage while dual wielding. By how much? Plus 30%. Works for me. Let's give her this sweet new bow. Alright, sweet. Alright, first things first, let's see what recruits are available. Skill Trainer, Lore, Control Fire, Frost, and Lightning. Merchant with magic, rare magical scrolls might be worthwhile, in case there's any, I guess, magic that I've missed in the world. Regular provides scrolls for further research. Going to grab him right now. Another trainer, another trainer, another trainer, another trainer. I do not care for the trainers. Alright, I'm going to grab this guy. I mean, I'm going to have to hire these people anyway, if I guess want to do all the research available, because I need 6 recruits. So I'm going to grab all the cheap ones. I'm almost out of money. Alright, we'll hold off on that for right now. Sage Garris. Greetings, Fatebinder. The sage bows low before you, the quills in his hood brushing the ground. Who are you? And how did you get into my spire? He takes a cautious step back. Garris. I'm your scribe and researcher. I've heard great things about you. About this place. The library here is incredible, if you don't mind my saying so. He quills back with uncertainty and fear. When I heard about the library you were building, I just had to come. I watched the workers as they hauled the stone and scrolls up here. There was an awful lot, and they were very tired, so I did what little I could to assist. Then on the last day, as everyone was leaving, I just stayed behind. Well, I don't remember hiring you. Well, if you want to hold strictly to the truth, you didn't. But I never let details like that stop me in the past. Sage Tacitus always encouraged me to show ambition ahead of restraint. I am nothing if not a student of good advice. He straightens his posture and clears his throat. With your permission, of course. So you just invited yourself into the mix. Lantry wipes his brow, leaving a sepia streak. Ah, such foolhardy initiative reminds me of a younger me. It's amazing I still have my teeth, considering what a twit I used to be. Who am I kidding? Still am. And why are you here? I take it you'll need someone to organize this collection of scrolls. Someone to catalog new texts as you discover them, and someone to organize research efforts. As your scribe, I can do all 3. In fact, I'm excited to get started. I've already started looking through your collection and... He cuts himself off in sighs. To be honest, I need the work. The Vellum Citadel isn't exactly up to its old standards. I'm afraid there aren't many safe places where a sage can find employ during the war. And what can you research for me? Oh, any number of topics. Magic, alchemy, the history of the world. You have an impressive collection. Not as large as the Vellum Citadel, perhaps, but no sense in crying over burnt parchment. I've started compiling a list of possible research topics. Allow me to show you. Research artifacts. Conduct research for new artifacts. Need 4 recruits, though. Research items. Conduct research to find recipes for new items. Only takes 2 scrolls, and we're sitting on 20, so... Go and do that, I guess. How may I serve you today, Fatebinder? What's the status of your research? The work continues, of course. He wipes away at the deep circles under his eyes, leaving a smear of black ink. I'll notify you as soon as we have results. I want you to research something. He's already researching something. So worry about that later. Alright, let's go to... the Mountain Spire, and then Sunset Spire. I'm going to go grab all of our free stuff and do some selling. We have a new item to research. Was it Scorn? The javelin that we found the recipe for in the old walls. Let's do some mercantiling real fast. Get rid of all of this, I think. I'm gonna hold on to this shield though, because I plan on making the javelin from my main character, and I'm gonna equip the shield in that same weapon set as the javelin. Oh, that's a lot of money. I should be able to afford the rest of the recruits at the Ocean Spire? Your influence spans even further. You can almost hear the whispers of 1,000 voices echoing through the resonator. If you concentrate, it would appear you can begin the same trance that showed you glimpses of the previous spire. Touch the resonator and concentrate. Your finger touches the stone of the resonator. You're almost instantly assaulted with a rhythmic, baritone thud and the sound of rushing fluids. By the third beat, the sound is unmistakably your pulse. As your heart quickens at this realization, so does the sound. A mystic jolt runs from your finger through your spine, and in that instant, you get an intuition of the sculpture, a sense that it stands listening. Awaiting your commands. I command the spire. Show me more. Sizzling heat races down your arm, and your feet feel for the moment to be hovering just above the stone floor of the spire. The sensation is oddly familiar, harkening back to the moment you broke Kyros' edict of execution. As this old pain ripples through your body, the waves of pain extend beyond the length, width, and breadth of your form, until the sensation is running down the spire, its masonry an extension of your spine. Inflict woe and ruination on my enemies. You issue your command, but the spire is either not listening, or simply not responding. Alright, back to the Sunset Spire. Let's see what they've finished for us. Hey, there we go. So yeah, firing that one guy and hiring him back, I finally got some bronze ingots. We've also got our Surefoot Scale Greaves, which I don't think I'm going to use. At the very least, I can sell it. I found these plans in this metal in the old walls. Can you make this for me? These are the plans for Scorn. You have the metal we need to make it. Is there anything else I can do for you? So Scorn, javelins like this are often assigned to the brave disfavored soldiers at the head of a phalanx. They deliver the confidence to push forward against any odds, and the barbed tip can snag on armor and destabilize advancing enemies. +1 resolve, plus 100% precision on targets below 35% health. I need more bronze. I should be able to afford it. I'm going to sell these boots, because I don't plan on using these. They're heavy, but I already have the heavy boots that I want on my main character for right now. I think that's all that I needed to do here. Well, I wanted to research something, but I don't have the resources that I need. Let's go back and talk to Rivos. Also, I didn't collect the items at this spire yet. The free weapons and camping supplies. And food. Let's see. To the bottom. He only has one, but I'll take it regardless. I'm gonna grab, well, I need hide. I still don't think I have enough to upgrade Lantry's gloves yet. But I'll take it regardless. Even if I can't afford Scorn, I am going to start researching some weapon at the forge. A bronze javelin and some meat. Oh, I can't ask him about that. Alright. Let us get back to the forge, see if I can afford any of the items, and then we'll go back to the Ocean Spire and talk to our new recruits. Actually, let me hire some recruits while I'm at the Mountain Spire so they show up by the time I get there. So he's 15, 12. Sure. It's all 6. I still can't afford Scorn. I need 7, I have 5. This takes iron ingots. I can afford the Hawkeye helm. So take all of my hide. But I think this is a good upgrade for Verse. This would also be a good upgrade for Verse, I think. The +1 finesse. I don't know what our current gloves do. Yeah, let's grab this instead. The Hawkeye helm. For that +10 accuracy to Verse. I also want to see what gloves does she currently have equipped. Because her helmet is very lackluster. So are her gloves. Okay. I need to swap these back. I need this item off of Eb real fast.
What
Sorry,
is it you need?
kicked
Of
my
course.
chair. Alright, let's grab
Goodbye to you too.
Eb so I get that trinket off of her. She can keep that one. But Lantry can use this one instead.
Good day, Fatebinder. What do you need? Well then, let's...
I'll tack homeward. See you there.
Alright. So we're currently working on an item. Let's go back to the Ocean Spire. Alright, new recruits. Let's talk to all these guys real fast and we'll call it an episode. Start with Noxia. Glory to the voice of Nerat. Quite the impressive tower you have here, Fatebinder. It'd be a shame if someone pushed you off the edge. The Blade Chinner grips you by your shoulders and tries to wrestle you to the edge. Yeah, break your arm. Manage to twist her arm at an unnatural angle. She grins at the sound of snapped bones, then headbutts you to break away from the fight. Dazed, she shakes her head to refocus, trailing her arm in her other hand. Ow. Wish I could say that I made the worst decisions, but this was a bad one. Bad Noxia. She pinches her arm and squeezes her eyes shut, enduring and relishing the pain in equal measure. Looking to spar, Fatebinder? Yeah, I like to train. Well, that was interesting. Alright, Velos, or Velos. The sage examines a scroll, taking in every detail of his handiwork. Did you know there are 7 ways to write fire, but only 2 for water? He continues to examine the scroll without the slightest sign that he was expecting an answer. Could it be that fire has more meaning in our era? There's a short pause before he realizes you've actually approached him for something. Oh, my apologies, Fatebinder. I can be taken for a ride by my own trails of thought. I'm sure there is something you need from me. You seem fairly versed in the common language. Did you study at the Velum Citadel? Velos scowls, and contorts his face in a tight knot. Yes, that's what it used to be called before Kyros' edict fell upon us all, taking thousands of years of knowledge and reducing it to ash. He quickly regains his composure. My apologies, Fatebinder. The wound is still fresh for many of us. Please, let me be of service to you. What have you made for me? I have anything for you at the moment. Check back later. Alright. Erastus. The Earthshaker squints to make you out. Ah, Fatebinder. You couldn't have picked a better spire to claim. I'm sure you're just brimming with questions. The fact that we stand upon one of the great and ancient mysteries of the world, sharing this pleasant conversation, means that you are a person of influence and power. I want to make sure that your talents are harnessed appropriately. Shall we begin? Very well. Show me what you can do.
I've got it.
Irina? I've got scrolls, vellum, parchment? She shakes her head. It's really more interesting once you start reading. Care to take a look? Alright, so I don't know any of these, right? Yeah, marked affliction to a spell? Okay. Don't know if I want to go through all these right now. Let's see, elegant staff. It's not new. Cinder is. Explosive. Weapon crit. Damage 16 to 25 fire versus dodge and radius. It's like a little fireball explosion. The temperamental staff was inspired by training items used by the School of Wild Wrath. Its combustive properties were used as lessons in pain and discipline before the school was absorbed into the Scarlet Course. Now its powers are brought to bear against surrounding enemies. Elegant heirloom necklace. So this is only for Seer, and I might buy this just to give it to her. So plus 15 performance skill. This necklace is worn by a beloved tavern bard for the duration of her career. She caressed the sapphire often during performances, claiming that it calmed her nerves during bouts of stage fright. It's not super expensive. We're going to go ahead and grab that for Siren. And then these I'll look at off camera. I might just go and buy all of them. But we'll see. Let's talk to Phyla, or Phyla. The mage peruses the library with an amused expression. It takes a while for her to notice you. Fatebinder. I was wondering when I would meet you. Meet my patron. She bows. Ophelia of the Forgebound. Before you ask me what a smith is doing away from the forge, well, I'm taking a break from ironwork, and this library suits my taste at present. What's the plan now that you're here? I need some time away from the war effort. Assembling the same swords and helmets, using our intellect and art to equip an army. She shivers. The Forgebound are masters of our craft, but we're artists at heart, and this war has misused our talents. I want to spend some time among these books, recalling what got me interested in the arcane in the first place. Teaching you should fulfill a similar goal, though I won't know for certain until I get started. She clears her throat. Where shall we begin? You tell me. Let's talk magic. Alright, let me equip this on Eb real fast, and then Siren. Library upgrade, you can construct a library. Cool.
What is it you need? Of course.
Goodbye to you too.
Not Eb,
I'll
sorry,
tack homeward.
Siren.
See you there.
Oh, I had it in versus inventory. Gosh darn it.
What is it? Of course.
I will return to our holdfast at once.
No doubt this will prove interesting. I'll tack homeward.
At your
See you there.
service. I will
Verse.
return
It
to
was
our
in versus
holdfast
inventory.
at
There we go. Wait, was it? No, it's my inventory. Jeez Louise. Okay. Let's equip that on her.
What is it you... Of course.
I will meet you at the spire.
Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna call the episode here. Off camera, I'm gonna look through these scrolls. I might just go ahead and buy all of them if I can afford it. Wait, I didn't talk to Lythos, did I? Never mind. May I offer you the benefit of my wisdom, Fatebinder? Let's talk magic. Alright, just another trainer. Alright, I'm gonna call the episode here. And the next one we'll go back, we'll turn in that quest to... I think his name is Hieronymus, in the Oldwalls Breach. Then we have another side quest we can pursue. Hidden Truths. Go to the Bastard Tier and talk to Sage L. In the meantime, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.